Although performing a catalytic converter delete may seem like a good idea, there are some things to take into account first. To be sure it's what you want to do, you should weigh the advantages and disadvantages of a cat delete. In order to help you decide more wisely, we thoroughly weigh all of the pros and cons in this brief video. We also define what a catalytic converter removal is. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. You must take the catalytic converter out of your car or uninstall it in order to perform a catalytic converter delete. This can either be completed by you in your garage at home or by a professional. The deletion of the catalytic converter will increase horsepower and noise levels. Additionally, it lowers engine temperature and improves fuel efficiency. However, it's against the law, can set off the check engine light, and will prevent you from passing an emissions test. Some people opt to simply remove the catalytic converter in some circumstances. If not, a straight pipe can be used in its place. Pros of catalytic converter delete. Lower engine temperature. More inflow happens because the quicker gas release reduces the load on the engine. The combustion chamber can receive more airflow, which keeps the engine running at its best. As a result, the operating temperatures significantly decrease. Boost in horsepower. Your car's horsepower can be quickly increased by removing the converter. The catalytic converter can be removed to allow the exhaust gas to exit more quickly and reduce engine back pressure. It is possible to get a better mixture into the combustion chamber by expanding the airflow space. More power is generated as combustion occurs more quickly. Better fuel economy. For the same reasons we've already stated, removing the converter will result in better fuel efficiency. The vehicle operates more effectively with less engine back pressure and a lower temperature. Less strain will be placed on the motor, resulting in fewer fill-ups. Given the increased cost of gas, this is a wise consequence to accept. Fuel flexibility. You must use a particular unleaded fuel in order to maintain the catalytic converter properly. Otherwise, the catalyst material might sustain internal damage from the lead-based fuel. The use of alternative fuels is possible if the catalytic converter is removed. Instead, you can upgrade to a high-performance fuel like leaded racing fuel. Just be sure to stick to fuels that the manufacturer has approved. Louder sound. The catalytic converter in today's cars helps to reduce some exhaust noise. It aids in lessening the effects of the gases on the engine as they exit the vehicle and leave the combustion chamber. The sound coming from your car gets louder when the catalytic converter is removed. This can also be viewed as a drawback, which is why we've also included it below. Can be done at home. You should be able to remove the catalytic converter on your own if you are a skilled home mechanic. You must first remove the oxygen sensor in order to remove the converter. You might be able to borrow the proper wrench from the auto parts shop if you don't already have one. You must now remove the catalytic converter. Slide it off the exhaust pipe after removing the bolts. You might need to saw it off if it is welded. After removing it, you can also install a straight pipe. Cons of catalytic converter delete. It's illegal. It is forbidden to remove the catalytic converter. You risk getting tickets and steep fines for taking off the cat because of EPA regulations. You could run into problems even if you aren't taking your car in for an inspection. You may be stopped by the police and given a fine. Increased emissions. The catalytic converter shields the atmosphere from harmful exhaust gases that are toxic. Its purpose is to change the gases into less dangerous ones. All of these toxins are released into the air when the catalytic converter is removed from the vehicle. At this point, all you are doing is adding to environmental deterioration. Failed emissions test. You will have a difficult time passing your state's emissions testing with the catalytic converter off and these gases released into the air. Although it's not necessary everywhere, the majority of people have to deal with this aspect once or twice a year. A failed emissions test prevents you from legally operating a vehicle on public roads. You may therefore be subject to steep fines. More noise. Noise pollution is a possibility once a car's noise reaches a certain volume. Your ears could become damaged by this excessive noise. Furthermore, you might be upsetting nearby neighbors. You may also be issued a ticket for disturbing the peace if the noise exceeds a certain decibel level. Check engine light. A sensor malfunction could be brought on by any interference with engine performance. The check engine light might turn on as you remove the catalytic converter. Some vehicles have a fix that lets you insert a spacer into the oxygen sensor downstream. The system may read normally as a result of this lambda sensor, in which case the check engine light won't illuminate. This does not alter the fact that the system is not functioning properly. Additional cost. Even though you can delete the catalytic converter at home, there are still expenses to consider. You might even spend $50 if you do the work yourself. It might cost $300 or more to hire a professional to assist you. If the cat needs to be sawed off, the price will be higher. Is it legal? Running the vehicle without the catalytic converter is illegal in every state. The regulations are getting stricter, so you should check your state's laws to see what you can legally do with the emissions system. California, for instance, has the strictest laws of any state. Even installing exhaust components that are not certified by the state is prohibited in this jurisdiction. Keeping your car in factory condition is the simplest fix for these issues. Can I drive without a catalytic converter? Yes, to answer briefly, it is entirely feasible to operate your car without a catalytic converter. Apart from the possible sound, you won't notice much of a difference in your car's performance without the catalytic converter. But first, let's talk about whether it's legal to drive without this car part. While it is possible to drive without the CAT, it is not permitted. Along with the EPA, states have passed laws limiting the amount of emissions that are released into the atmosphere. You are responsible for any fines and penalties associated with breaking the law if you drive without the CAT.